Hello and welcome. Today, we are diving into a hidden rule that is quietly saving lives in clinics and hospitals every single day. And it's not some high-tech gadget or complicated medical procedure. Nope, it's all about a shoe. I mean, really think about that. A detailed, multi-page policy just for what people wear on their feet? It seems like overkill, doesn't it? Is this just about looking professional, or is there something much, much bigger going on here? Well, to get to the bottom of it, we're going to do what we do best. We're going inside a real-world document to see the incredible thinking behind this seemingly simple rule. So this isn't a theoretical exercise. Our source is the honest-to-goodness official footwear policy from Careclinics, a huge network of medical clinics. And this isn't some document that just gathers dust on a shelf. This policy affects the safety of doctors, nurses, staff, and of course patients every single day.
Okay, so why in the world do you need a policy like this? Well, the most obvious reasons are a good place to start, but trust me, they're just scratching the surface.
The policy does start with the basics, right? First, professionalism. A uniform dark color just looks clean and organized. And second, just basic common sense safety. You want to prevent people from slipping and falling. But come on, those reasons alone don't really justify a super strict policy, do they?
Is that really enough to warrant a formal, enforced policy? No way. And that brings us to the real question here. What are the hidden dangers, the things you can't see, lurking on a clinic floor?
And this, right here, is where we get to the heart of it. These are the critical, sometimes life or death reasons for a shoe policy. The things you'd never even think about unless you knew what to look for.
Okay, the first hidden danger is a big one. It's a cornerstone of all of modern medicine, the risk of infection.
Just think about it for a second. A clinic floor can have all sorts of stuff on it, from invisible germs to spills of blood or other fluids. Now, the wrong kind of shoe, like something made of mesh or fabric, can act like a sponge. It can soak up those contaminants and then track them all over the clinic, from room to room. It's a huge risk for spreading infection to both patients and staff.
The second danger is even more direct, and it's something called sharps. That's the medical term for anything that can pierce or cut the skin.
You can just picture it, right? In a busy clinic, things get dropped. A needle, a scalpel, it happens. And if a healthcare worker is wearing, say, a soft-top shoe or something with open spaces, that sharp object can go right through it. That's a serious injury waiting to happen, not to mention another huge risk for infection. So this is why the absolute central rule of the entire policy is all about creating a barrier. The shoes have to be fully covered. That means a closed toe and a closed heel. And this one rule translates into a very clear set of guidelines.
And here it is, the breakdown, straight from the policy's appendix. On the left, you've got the good stuff. Closed toe, closed heel shoes, things made of leather or synthetic materials, even sneakers, as long as they aren't mesh. These are all non-porous and protective. And on the right, the big no-nos. Sandals, slippers, clogs with those holes in them, high heels. Every single one of those fails to protect against either contamination or sharps, or both. It's a really simple chart that just spells out safety.
Okay, so we've got the rules and we've got the reasons why. But how does a policy on a piece of paper actually become a real, living thing on the clinic floor?
It's a whole chain of responsibility. It really starts with every single doctor and staff member. They're personally responsible for what's on their feet. Then you've got clinic managers doing monthly checks. Above them, regional managers are making sure everyone gets trained. And way at the top, the head of governance is keeping the entire policy up to date with national guidelines and even standards from the World Health Organization. It's a system where literally everybody plays a part in safety.
But with a system this critical, you have to wonder, what happens if someone just decides not to follow the rules? Well, the policy is very clear. There's a three-step process. First time, you get a simple verbal reminder, a friendly correction. If it happens again, that person has to go through formal retraining on the policy. They have to relearn exactly why this is all so important. And if it still keeps happening, that leads to formal disciplinary action. It just goes to show you how seriously they take these risks.
So it's pretty obvious by now that this is about way more than just a dress code. Let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture here.
You don't even have to guess at the goal. This quote is pulled directly from the first page of the policy. It's the official objective, and it perfectly sums up everything we've been talking about: stopping infection, preventing sharps injuries, avoiding falls, and any other hazard. It's basically a mission statement for safety, starting from the ground up.
And all of this leads us to a really crucial concept: personal protective equipment, or PPE. We all got very familiar with masks and gloves recently, but the definition is actually much broader. It's any equipment you wear to minimize your exposure to workplace hazards.
And that brings us to the single biggest takeaway of this whole explainer. A healthcare worker's shoe is not just part of a uniform. It is a critical piece of personal protective equipment. Just like gloves protect the hands and a mask protects the lungs, the right shoe is a shield for the feet, protecting both the person wearing it and their patients.
And that kind of makes you think, doesn't it? Once you see the hidden layers of purpose and design in something as simple as a shoe, you start to look around and wonder, what other everyday objects are actually carefully designed safety systems, just hiding in plain sight?